imagine, right? One day, everybody's tight. We're all spending the night at each other's house. We all eating, having big family meals, doing all these things. Then, like, the next week, all that is cut off, bro. It's like I lost 2 families and 3 best friends, bro. Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Tyler, and today, y'all, we back here again, man. Like, first and foremost, bro, happy Black History Month, man. It's February 1st, man. Like, I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling good right now. It's a good morning, bro. Every time I record, every time I hop in front of this camera, it's always like good morning, y'all. So I'm feeling good, and I got a testimony for y'all today, man. So look, today, testimony number 5, the 5th testimony of the year. And today's topic, y'all, is the trauma from losing my best friends. So this week, I was at service on Sunday, and they gave us a sheet that looks like this. Make sure y'all can kind of see it, man. They gave us a sheet that had a heart on it, and they were like, so what is in your heart, right? Find out what's in your heart. So up until this point, I'm making videos, bro. I'm taking pictures. Everything is pretty much thriving for me in my life right now. I'm thinking everything is perfect. I'm thinking I have no problem to deal with, right? Until they gave me this little piece of paper. They gave me this paper, and I was like, man, when I actually looked at what was in my heart, and I was being, honest about it, I was like, bro, it's a lot of stuff that I got to work out. And I wasn't even sure, how this stuff even got in my heart. So then I started just diving a little deeper, bro, spending a little more time with God and just trying to get to the root of things. And like, hey, why do I feel certain ways that I feel? Why do I react certain ways that I react? And it's because of the trauma that's in my heart. So now that I realized that I had to go and find the root of it. And today, this is what I thought was the root. When I sat down and I wrote this out just to kind of get off my chest, I thought this was the root of it. But this really is like the tree trunk. So you have like the root, you have the tree trunk, y'all. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it because this definitely plays a big part, y'all, and why I do the things I do. And I want to explain it to y'all in a way. And hopefully this video is kind of a testimony because this is Tyler's Testimony Thursdays. Man, you thought I forgot about that. It's Tyler's Testimony Thursdays, y'all. And this is kind of a testimony, but this month I really want to, start it off with helping y'all deal with some of your traumas, deal with some of the things that is in your heart. So I can go ahead and get the ball rolling by me being vulnerable for you guys to hopefully, y'all sitting down and figuring out what's in your heart and just figuring out like what it is that you need to work on and what is the root of all of it, right? What are the things that you need to work on? So we're going to go ahead and get into it today. But before we start, man, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe, man. Join the family, y'all, because why not, man? I'm building a community, or I'm trying to build a community. I guess I am building a community, bro, where I'm going to be vulnerable so that y'all can be vulnerable, man. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So the story of me losing my best friends, right? Let me give y'all the backstory of it so that you guys can understand the trauma from it. I'm going to explain all of it, y'all. This is going to be a great video, man. I feel it. I feel very good, y'all. And let's go ahead and let's get into it, man. So this goes all the way back to like high school. I know. But sometimes, you have people who be 20-something years old or 40-something years old still dealing with childhood trauma that they never addressed. So for me, right, my stuff, it goes back to high school, man. I had 3 best friends. I'm going to just call them person 1, person 2, and person 3, right? 3 best friends. And they were all girls, actually, which is kind of interesting. They were all girls, but like, we had like a bond, y'all. We was thick as thieves, bro. We had like the closest relationship. It was like, they were like family. They were like my sisters. And then once I got close to their families, it was like I had 2 more families. I only knew 2 of their families. The third one, I really didn't know much about her family. But the main 2, I knew about their families, bro. And their family, it just felt like one huge family. You felt welcomed. I used to stay the night at their crib and just, play the video. I just bring my PS4 over, y'all, and play video games. So that shows like it was really like I used to really, run with them. Like I said, thick as thieves, bro. And their family trusted me, and it wasn't no funny business, bro. I was never on that type of timing. Like I said, they were like my sisters, bro. And I used to go over to their house all the time. We would spend so much time together and really just, have a genuine friendship. Yeah, everything was just so good. And it was like that for like 4 years. Well, I guess like 3.5 years, because when I graduated high school, it was 2020, COVID year, and you know how that goes. But anyways, up until this point, right, up until second semester of my senior year, everything is going good. We're doing things, we're traveling together. Like I said, right, those were my sisters, but it was a family thing, and it was just amazing. So then, right, after football season, because I was playing football, bruh. I wasn't good, but I was playing football for sure. After football season, it was just like a weird off period. I was running with some cats, man. My guys, they was, high school boys doing what high school boys do. So it was around like this winter break time period, right? I'm not gonna go too deep into the story, but around winter break or like early second semester, one of the guys I was running with, bro, I was in a situation. I was on a 2-man with, bro. We're in the car. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's just keep it real. You feel me? We're smoking. We're under the influence a little bit. And my vibe just felt so off, bro. Like my spirit. And I wasn't even saved at this point, bro. But like my spirit literally fell off about the conversations we're having, the way the conversation was going. And I just I felt something strange, bro. And I texted the group chat. We had a group chat because we all didn't go to the same school. We all went to different schools. So I ended up texting the group chat like, hey, this is what's going on. X, Y, and Z is happening. Or they're talking about this. I don't know how I feel about it. And I'm like I said, I don't know if it's because I was high or if I was like really tweaking out. But I said something. I used some trigger words, but there's certain words that you just don't use to try to give an example. And I used some trigger words, if I can be honest. And they already wasn't banging with bruh anyway. So they was like, oh, like, you need to stop messing with him. That's ridiculous. They were just basically just, kind of taking up my side at that point. They was like, oh, he's weird. Stop doing all this stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. So then they was like, stop hanging with him. Bro, this is like, yeah, those are my sisters, bro. You feel me? My day ones. But these is like my fellas, bro. The guys, you know what I'm saying? My close guy friends, bro. So it was like, dang, I can't stop hanging with them, bro, because these my dudes, these the dudes I'm running with. And something must have happened. They must have seen me post a picture or something on social media, and they was like, oh, words, like, you still hanging with bro? It's like that. Like, basically just saying, like, you ain't keep your word to stop hanging with bro. You still hanging with bro. And one of them, off the rip, she was like, I'm not messing with you because you messing with bro. So, boom, she out the picture. Person 3 gone. Say goodbye, finito. She out the picture. Kind of cut me out the picture, cut me out the frame off the rip, bruh. So it's like, okay, boom. As we keep on going, person 2 was like, kind of gave me like that dilemma, like, okay, you either gonna choose bro or you're gonna choose us type of vibe. And I was like, I'm not making that decision, bro. Like, I'm not like, bro, I'm not making that decision. Even though, if I could be transparent, I could be real honest right now, though, because I know this is supposed to be about like my trauma, so I don't want to like sit here and be funny, bro, and like beat around the bush though. So I'm gonna be transparent though. Even though I knew my friendship with them was way stronger, you know what I'm saying? Because it's been like this for 4 years, bro. And just cause like I knew these guys longer, well, not really longer. I knew one of them. I had some, I knew them longer. I'll just say I knew them longer, but we didn't start building our friendship until like senior year. But with them, I've like, even though I've only known them for those 4 years, like we have been very close. So now looking back at it, I mean, they would have been the option because it was just a friend thing. You know what I'm saying? I knew them. It was like it was a family thing. But ultimately, I was like, I'm not gonna make that decision. I'm not gonna choose between y'all and them. Like, I'm not cutting nobody off. So person 2 kind of just cut me out the frame. Really though, it was like, oh, you're not gonna choose them. Well, I'll make a decision, and I'm not gonna bang with you for real. And then person 1, or I guess person 1 said that. Person 2 was just like, I mean, we kind of grew some distance, even though so me and person 2 went to the same school, so we grew some distance. But I didn't go to the same school everybody else, so it was just easy to like the snip bro at the picture. They just kind of cut me off the rip, bro. And I was just like, dang, bro, like all this kind of happened like back to back to back to back. That kind of explains that situation, man. And it was just, bro, it was just like it was back to back. So imagine, right? One day, everybody's tight. You feel me? We're all spending the night at each other's house. We all eating, having big family meals, doing all these things. Then like the next week, all that is cut off, bro. You feel me? It's like, bro, it's like I lost 2 families and 3 best friends, bro. It was just back to back. And I don't even think I could explain it in a way that really shows like how big of a deal it was. But it's for the person watching, imagine you lose your family right now. Like your whole entire family just packs up and goes to like a different country. And then it's just you. That's kind of, even though I have my family, it's like my extended family. It's like everyone just dipped and left and immediately got cut off. And bro, that was a different type of hurt because it was like, dang, bro, like that, bro. Like there was no way to resolve it. There was no way to get around it. It was just suddenly, bro. And yeah, that was just that was very, I'm gonna keep it transparent. That was very traumatic. That was a traumatic situation. So at the time, right? Like I was upset, bro. And in my heart was anger, bro. Like transparently, in my heart, I was just like upset. I was mad. Like, bro, how do y'all, how could this just happen like this, bro? How did, like, I was just real mad at everybody, bro. You feel me? I lost like 2 families and it was bad, bro. Like, it was bad. But now looking back at it, I don't think I was mad. I think it was like a grief, bro. I think I was grieving and I think I was really just hurt about it, you know? And the impact of that still to this day. I was like, I'm just not learning about this. I'm just not like still looking a little bit deeper into things. And I said that literally still impacts me to this day because I was so vulnerable with them, right? I was so open with them. Like there was no, I don't want to say like there was no boundaries, bro, but like I said, these were like my sisters, bro. Like I was telling them everything, telling them anything, and I was just being extremely vulnerable with them. And now, looking back at it, there's 2 automatic defense mechanisms that happen. Now it's like, okay, when I talk to women, I don't think there's nothing in my head that says that she's trying to be my friend, because after that experience, I don't think any woman would try to be my friend. And my brain tells me like, hey, look, they're not gonna be, they're not here to be your friend. Because if they were here to be your friend, that means you would have to be vulnerable. And my brain kind of just went into that automatic defense mode where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna be vulnerable with any woman who isn't my wife. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I really broke these down. So it really get kind of crazy. So now it's like my brain is telling me, okay, look, I can't be vulnerable with any woman who isn't my wife. That's the first thing. The second end of that is now when women come up to me, I don't think that they're trying to be my friend. My brain automatically says, this might be your wife. This might be your wife, because I can't see anyone genuinely coming to me, or a woman coming to me and genuinely being my friend, because it just doesn't make sense. Also, not only does it not make sense, but because I don't want to go through that hurt and that, though that experience, that was a traumatic experience. And I like my body physically would not let me go through that again. So it automatically says, okay, look, these women who show up, this might be your potential wife. So then that allows you to be vulnerable with them, because, bro, I just naturally am vulnerable with women. And this goes back to, like I said, this story is the trunk, right? The trunk of a tree. But the real root of it really comes to with my mother in some aspect of it. And I got to figure that out and break that out. Like, I'm still learning, y'all. The way y'all are learning right now, I'm still learning this too. I know the root somehow comes from the way I was raised with my mom, bro, because I was like, my mom, like I always say in every video, she did everything for me, bro. And like, I was very vulnerable. Like, I love my mom, bro. And somewhere in there just allowed me to think that I could be vulnerable with just any woman walking on the earth, right? But because of this traumatic situation with me losing, my best friends and losing these families that I had, then it's like, okay, I can't, even though my body is naturally going to want me to be vulnerable with the woman, I can't be vulnerable with someone who I think is going to be my friend. So then my mind automatically goes to, this might be your wife, which then opens me up to being more hurt by these people, by any woman who comes into my life, because it's like, think about it, if your mind is automatically going to that, and they have different expectations, right? They're not looking at it from that point of view. And now it's like, Tyler, you want to be vulnerable with them, but then you're thinking all these things, or you're thinking from this point of view, and you're thinking from this perspective. It's kind of like you're opening yourself up to be devastated, right? For your expectations to not be met. And then that causes a whole nother row of hurt and grief, bro. And it's actually funny. It's like this for women, bro, where I'm too vulnerable. But then for the guys, it's the total opposite. And we'll probably talk about that in another video, because like I said, this month I really want to deal with trauma, bro. So I'm going to explain my traumas and the things that really trigger me, bro, and the things that trigger me, that cause me to do the things that we do. Because, bro, we all have trauma, bro. Everything comes from something, bro. The way that we react, it comes from something, bro, that's rooted within us. Ultimately, that might be based off of somebody in our genealogy, right? Whether our parents, grandparents, whoever it is, bro, we all react a certain way because of that. Because literally, it's in our DNA, bro. And if you want the biblical reference for this, because people like to say, they don't believe that. Bro, we all sin. We didn't wake up one day and say, oh, let's sin. No, it's because our spiritual father, Adam, he sinned. And because he sinned, like, we just naturally sin, bro. He brought sin into this world, and we naturally sin. It's in our DNA, bro. Like it's literally, it's human nature. It's in our DNA. So sometimes the thing that you deal with and the thing that you're going through, ultimately, the root of it has to do with someone in your DNA. However, that tree trunk, people always go from root to fruit, and they forget that trunk in the middle, right? That literally that holds the tree up. That firm tree trunk that holds the tree. People kind of forget that and go from root to fruit. But if you look in the middle, that right there, that traumatic experience based off of what was the root causes, fruit to form. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. Now that y'all understand the trauma, right? Then what happened is we end up, meeting back up, reconnecting. It was like April of that year, 2020, bro. It was April. We ended up reconnecting because now I'm trying to launch my photography business. And so we linked up, bro. We took some photos at somewhere. We took pictures, bro. We caught up over a meal. It was cool, bro. We rekindled. Everything was nice. It was okay. Maybe this could be the start of a new relationship. Bro, it had to have been. Matter of fact, it was like 1 month later, dude. I started charging for grad photos, bro. Like, hey, if you need grad photos, tap in. It couldn't have been, bro. It was literally between $35 and $75. And $75 is probably pushing it. It was probably between $35 and $45 for a grad photo, bro. And that person who we went to person one who we went to go take photos with, she was like, "Oh, can you do my grad photos?" I was like, "Yeah, it's like $35 or $45." Like, charge it to the car, charge it to the business, because I had just started a business, bro, and I needed. I mean, at that time, I was like, bro, I gotta push this business hard. Like, I ain't even slacking on the business for real, bro. I was already always business mindset oriented. Like, I separated the business from the personal. I was like, it's 35 to 45 for the grad shoot. She wasn't banging with it, bro. So we ended up falling out again because she wasn't trying to pay that. And I was just like, bro, like, this is just, man. Again, so that led to another thing of her, because it was like, once we rekindled again, right? I got back vulnerable, was keeping it real. Then like, dagger went in there, turned the knot, and then pulled it out. And then, yeah, it was just so much hurt, bro. And then I went back to the house a couple years later, bro. You feel me? Her people barely recognized me. It was just so, I was like, man, this is just, well, I mean, at that point, I was like a whole different person. But it was like, man, this is just crazy, bro. And it was just so much hurt, bro. But ultimately, there was forgiveness, bro. Like I said, now we can go to the forgiveness aspect of it, bro. It was like 2021. I'm trading Forex. And it was like, send an audio message to somebody to forgive them. So I ended up sending her an audio message. This is person one, because person one, we didn't go to the same school, but we were probably the closest, bro. Me and person two, we went to the same school, so like we talk every so often. And there wasn't like an official falling out, but it was distance, but we still kept up. And person three was just out the picture at this point. It's cooked. It's over. So person one, though, I sent the audio message like, hey, this is how I felt, and I forgave them. And then from that point on, we kind of moved on. Like, we just been like building, right? After that moment, it was like that weight that was on my shoulders, it like fell off, bro. The weight that was on my shoulders, it fell off. And then what was unraveled was just love, bro. Like, that anger, that hurt, that grief, partially that grief, bro. Well, I said, yeah, the grief, all that stuff fell off, man. Now, granted, I didn't know that I was still experiencing trauma from this, bro. But at that moment, I realized, you know what, bro, all this grief, this anger, this hurt, all these things, like, it's like it just fell off, bro. And in the middle of all that was love, bro, because the love was still there. And, like, it was genuine love, bro. Understand, like, I guess platonic, is that the word that people use? Like, a friendly type of love, bro. It wasn't like no relationship. Like, they ain't trying to date y'all or nothing, bro. But it was like genuine love, bro. And it never went away. And love is like, bro, regardless of the circumstances that we're dealing with right now, regardless of whatever, I said that the love was always there, even to this day. Like, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situations, right, us not being on good terms, I would still be there if you needed me. Literally, I'd do anything for you. And even to this day, it's still that same thing. Like, I still do anything for them. Of course, boundaries, bro, to protect myself. But ultimately, it's like, no, I would still do it, because at the end of the day, bro, real love, it doesn't stop. Real love, it never, if you really love someone, it doesn't just disappear, bro, when you're not banging with them for real, bro. And I feel that way about people who I say I love for real. So even with them, it's all love, bro. And I've forgiven them, and like, my heart is clear, bro. And I hope one day, I'm saying, we could catch up and just do whatever. And I wrote right here at the bottom, I was like, it's real love, because I still invite them to my wedding one of these days, bro. Like, if I ever get, not if, I'm saying when I get married, bro, I would literally send them the invitation, because it's love, bro. It's always been love. And that's it, bro. So it's kind of like my little testimony. I don't know if this is a testimony, but whatever it was, bro, I feel like I wanted to share, bro. And this month, like I said, bro, we're gonna be dealing with trauma. Yeah, we all got trauma, bro. We've all possibly been through the hurts of losing loved ones, bro, losing relationships, bro, losing a lot of stuff, bro. We've all experienced loss. We've all experienced hurt, anger, and grief. And there's just so much stuff that we don't really understand. Like, why do I do the things that I do today? Ultimately, it all comes back to somewhere in your life there was some hurt. Somewhere in your life there was some type of trauma that made you react the way that you react. But even trauma, because there's like good trauma, right? Of like, okay, let's say, for example, if your dad did something that you don't ever want to do. Well, the trauma from me seeing him do that has led me to never do this again, to never be this type of representation. Like, if your dad is like in the streets or not in your life, it's like, you know what? The trauma from me not having a good dad pushed me to being the best dad ever. Like, that's still trauma, bro. So like, we all have trauma that we deal with. It's about how we deal with it, but it's also about addressing it, right? Because you can't fix what you don't see. So once you address it, then it's like, okay, you can fix it. Then, you know, you can go about it, bro. So that's all I got for y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, bro. And I love y'all, bro. I'm gonna keep making these videos for y'all. I'm gonna keep being consistent. So make sure y'all subscribe. And yeah, man, this is my channel where I can be vulnerable, bro, to hopefully help somebody who needed to hear this, bro. But I love y'all, man. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, bro. Peace.